Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Yesterday we introduced something that might feel at first at least very counterintuitive to you. Specifically what we talked about is the possibility of good stress as compared with what is probably much more intuitively obvious, which is bad stress. The truth of it is that psychology has studied stress since the very beginning days of psychology, and what seems to be clear is that we humans, in fact, need a certain amount of stress to motivate us. That's good stress. It's just when the stress gets too high or over the top that our bodies and our minds begin to break down. And of course, that's bad stress. The technical term for understanding the relationship of stress to our lives, especially when we're talking about the relationship between stress and effectiveness, of our being creative and productive individuals. The technical term for this is that there's a curvilinear statistical relationship between stress and productivity, or stress and effectiveness. So let me explain that. Too much stress, if you think of a curve, curvilinear, too much stress, let's say over on this side from your perspective, too much stress, that's obviously counterproductive. And we've already discussed that, is that the very apparent downside of too much stress when it's chronically high is that it erodes our bodies and our minds. But if we take this curvilinear perspective, if this is too much stress, then over on this side, again from your perspective, that would be too little stress. Did you know that that's also undesirable? Think about it for just a second. If we're to be motivated, it generally takes just right in the middle of that curve. Takes just the right amount of stress. I want you to think for just a second of the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I used to read this to my daughter Amanda when she was little. And do you remember the question that she continued to ask? Which bed was just the right size for her? There were three beds, the Three Bears beds. And so think of it this way. With too much stress, that bed is way too big for me, says Goldilocks. With too little stress, that bed is actually way too small for me, again, says Goldilocks. She wants just the right size bed, and in a curvilinear relationship, that would be a medium level of stress. So let's apply this for today. It's one of the most practical applications I can think of to our moving through stress, even right now with the global pandemic. I'd like you to see if you can make lemonade out of lemons today. I want you to see if you can do that by taking one element, any element of the current limitations placed upon us by the virus quarantine, and I want you to see if you can convert that into something positive that you might accomplish today. You'll succeed here insofar as you take a stressful situation, which all of us are in, the quarantine, and find a way to make something good out of that, something redemptive. That's what I mean by lemonade out of lemons. And I don't care how small it is, what you pick. I'm going to give you an example and then sign off for today, but back with you tomorrow. My sharing this blog post with you right now is just one example. I can't go out, but what I can do is I can stay in, I can research stress, and I can convert this into something hopefully that will be helpful to you, maybe spur your own creativity. That's a piece of what I can do, and that's taking limitations. I can't go out. I can't work in a conventional way. I'm working at home exclusively now, and I can use this time fruitfully to hopefully make a difference in your life. So let's see if you can do something like that, converting stress into something positive for yourself. That's, again, looking for the sweet spot or for just the right size bed. You can do it, okay? I want to thank you for joining me today. Wish you a good day. Be safe, be well, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, okay? Take care.